Hotel Echo Lima Lima Oscar. Good evening from London, England. It's your host, your guy again, the one and only and truly DLG Repping, otherwise short for Delete London Gooner. Space Romeo Echo Papa Papa Indigo November. Um, and welcome to another Premier League review of all this weekend's actions from all 10 fixtures of the Premier League itself, of the best league in the world itself. Otherwise, can I say good morning to you guys once again? If you're watching from around the world, whether you're watching in Bermuda, whether you're watching in St. Vincent St. Kitts, whether you're watching in Haiti, whether you're watching in Yemen or in Sudan, whether you're watching in Tunisia, whether you're watching in Morocco, good evening. You may be just tuning in, you may be just jumping out of bed, you may be um, having your shower or tidying up around the house, or good afternoon to you guys. Um, you could be watching in Australia, you could be watching in New Zealand, you could be watching in Western Samoa, you could be watching in Fiji, you could be watching in Mexico or the United States of America. That involves you, I don't know, you're going out sunbathing on the beach, watching me, whether you are out and about taking the pets or taking the dog for a walk, or I don't know, feeding your young children, or working in your respective occupations. Otherwise, if it's a late one, wherever you're watching around the world, I wish you good night and rest well. Yeah. Other than that, I'm going to be going through this weekend's games. Before I do that, yeah, I want you to smash the thumbs up like button. Yeah, do that in abundance. Yeah, with love and affection. Make sure you share this channel virally all over the world, especially to your friends and your relatives. Yeah. And if you're watching me for the first time, wherever you're watching around the planet, welcome on board. You're very welcome. Just smash the share button for me, left, right, and center, gloriously and passionately, especially to your friends and relatives, and encourage them to share it amongst their friends and relatives. Yeah. If you got an opinion, you want to talk about your team, how well they've done, or how not so well they've done, leave it in the chat. Yeah. I'll try my best to respond as soon as possible. Yeah. Other than that, the chat is for positive feedback only. That's what I promote as DLG Repping. Last but not least, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, smash that sub button left, right, and center, gloriously but passionately. Remember, when you subscribe, I'll shout you out with love and appreciation. Yeah. Remember, I am going for 1,000 subscribers, so let's get there by the end of this year, beginning of the new year. Otherwise, let's talk about the games that went on during the weekend of the Premier League. And let's start off with the early kickoff: Leicester City v Manchester City. For me, during the first half, it was all Manchester City. Alvarez pulled off a good save from Ward. In fact, Ward made another save in that first half. Man City had complete control. There was a moment where the Foxes couldn't get out of they couldn't get past the halfway line. That's how much control Man City had. That's how dominant they were. They had a large spell of the possession by like up to 75+% possession, created opportunities, and you can see why they are champions from last season and the season after that. You can see why they're champions. They just keep consistently destroying teams, and yeah, it's a fear factor, but it's 11 versus 11. If you cannot apply yourself with the right intensity, with the right intensity, if you ain't got the guts on the day, then Man City will just continue to control the game, and they'll pass you to death. And before you know it, one little opening and bang, they're in. Other than saying that, Leicester grew later on in that first half. They started to grow into the game. They had a counter attack, and Other than that, it was just Man City all over, and it took a moment of brilliance from one of their 7 match winners, in my opinion, Kevin De Bruyne, with a speculative free kick, and what a free kick it was! What a goal! Keepers in the world will not have any chances. You could put 2 goalkeepers in there, no chance at all. So it finished Leicester City 0, Manchester City 1. Next game from the Vitality Stadium, Bournemouth v Spurs. Bright start from Bournemouth in the first half. Tottenham were in 6s and 7s, and Bournemouth took the lead in the first 20 odd minutes, or just under 20 minutes, with Kiefer Moore with a tap in, and then in the second half, obviously Bournemouth went 1-0 up at half time, and in the second half, Bournemouth picked off where they left off, and Kiefer Moore got a brave header at the far post, which made it 2-0. But 2 minutes later, Tottenham responded with a goal of their own. Ryan Sessegnon with a shot cross come into the far netting, and Tottenham, yeah, they seemingly pushed for an equaliser, and an equaliser they did get for a corner, and Ben Davies with a header, and I think it was an error by the goalkeeper. And then there was only one team who was going to get the winning goal, and it didn't look like Bournemouth. I think they ran out of steam, and Tottenham had a set piece in stoppage time from a corner, not dealt with by the Bournemouth defence, and Bentancur side-footed it, roof of the net, 3-2. That was the winning. That proved to be the winning goal. So it finished Bournemouth 2, Spurs 3. Brentford v Wolves. That was a game of a few chances from both teams. I think Brentford were mainly on the front foot, pushing for the first goal of the game, and both teams looked wasteful in front of goal. And in the second half, it took a moment of brilliance to open the score sheet. And what an overhead kick by Ben Mee, centre half overhead kick. Now, if that was done by an Mbappe or Haaland, we would be raving on about it for days and weeks. But it came from an unknown identity, well, an unlikely goal scorer, should I say, in Ben Mee. And then 2 minutes later, Ruben Neves gets one of these rockets into the back of the net, and what a goal it was! And well, the game was open for anyone to win. Sadly, it ended with a red card to Diego Costa, where he was being marked by Ben Mee. Ben Mee and him were tussling, but the headbutt came from Diego Costa on Ben Mee. Not one headbutt, but 2 headbutts. And until the referee went to the VAR monitor and he had a look at it, he said, "Yeah, my mind's changed. It is a straight red, and a straight red Diego Costa gets." However, it finished Brentford 1, Wolves 1. Next game, Brighton over Albion v Chelsea. A return for Graham Potter at the Amex Arena, and the receptions were not so positive in that effect. There were some boos ringing around the Amex Arena, the Amex Stadium, should I say, and Chelsea were obviously going into that game as favourites, but Brighton started off really well, and Trossard had a chip that was cleared off the line by Thiago Silva after Thiago Silva made the mistake. He made up with it with fabulous goal line clearance, with a goal line headed clearance, should I say. However, it didn't stop Brighton from there. One of their new signings, Matuma, the Japanese international, did a good bit of work, found Trossard. Trossard ran the goalkeeper, slots it in at the back post, 1-0. But before that, there was another headed goal line headed clearance when Espinoza, Ecuadorian wing back, had a shot well cleared off the line, and again another defensive headed clearance off the line by Thiago Silva. I mean, he was kept busy before the goal, and Trossard teed up by Japanese international Matoma to go around Aris Belanga and found the back of the net, 1-0. Brighton were on the front foot, the ascendancy, and they had the home crowd behind them. A record for over 31,000. Graham Potter was obviously not too pleased about what he saw in that first half, and 1-0 became 2-0. Good work on the left hand side. Espinosa involved with a cross and own goal by I think I think it was it was an own goal by Loftus Cheek from a set piece that came in or a cross, and Loftus Cheek was trying to clear. He obviously got it horribly wrong, and then Espinosa for the third goal as Brighton attacked down that left, and it was before you know it was 2-0 to from 2-0 to 3-0, and Brighton went into interval at 3-0 up, and before then Chelsea were just not at the races. Robert Sanchez made a couple of good saves in that first half, and De Sarbi, their new coach, he couldn't be any more delighted. In the opening first few minutes of the second half, Chelsea got a goal back. Kai Havertz, 3 minutes into the second half, got a splendid goal, absolute splendid strike. Nothing the keeper could do about that. However, Brighton dug deep and made sure they restricted Chelsea from getting opportunities and shots on target, shots on goal, should I say. And Robert Sanchez was kept busy with another, I think, one or two saves in that game. However, Brighton pushed on for a killer goal, and they got the killer goal that they deserve for their whole contribution of their performances. And before you know it, Pascal Gross launched onto a safe shot from Aris Balanga, and it was there to be tapped in to make it 4-1 and put the first defeat for Graham Potter in 9 games. But it was the Sarbi's first win as Brighton head coach. So it finished Brighton over Albion 4, Chelsea 1. Next game, Crystal Palace v Southampton. Crystal Palace on the front foot in the first half, creating opportunities and forcing saves from the Southampton goalkeeper, or it was a case of missed chances. But after then, they got the breakthrough they deserve, and across from the left, and Odsonne Edouard with a tap in 1-0. However, in the second half, Southampton had the better of the chances. Che Adams one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Vincent Guaita with a save from him, and Che Adams even hit the post. But another opportunity, had a third opportunity, which was saved from Guaita again. But Palace were only looking dangerous in the counter attack, and you could see they just done just enough to get over the line. So it finished Crystal Palace 1, Southampton 0. Next game, Newcastle United v Aston Villa. Wow. The game started on the front foot for Newcastle. Opportunities missed by the home side. Aston Villa, they looked in 6s and 7s at the back. And their head coach, their temporary coach, was looking horrified while Newcastle kept piling on the pressure. And then they get a penalty that was rightfully awarded, and Callum Wilson side-footed it into the middle, 1-0. And before you know it, in the second half, Newcastle took complete control on the front foot. And I think Callum Wilson got his second goal of the game, which he did. Header at the back stick. Good cross on the right, and Callum Wilson's in a place where all strikers should be to head in their second. And the third goal, who got the third goal? I think Almiron got another goal to make it 6 goals in 6. He's in fine form and looking very undroppable at the moment, and rightfully so. And then the fourth goal, it might have been Almiron that got the fourth goal. Oh, Joelinton got the third goal. After 2 bites of the cherries, on the second bite, he gets a goal for himself, and then Almiron gets a fine goal for himself again. He can't do no wrong. 6 out of 6, and it's a shame we won't be able to see that his talent on the world stage this coming month. Other than that, it finished Newcastle United 4, Aston Villa 0. Next game, Fulham v Everton. I mean, I think a dominant first half from Everton created the better of the opportunities, and no end product in the end. However, Fulham had the better of the second half, and Mitrovic missing 2 gilt-edged chances where he's hit he's literally hit the ball. He's gone for goal, and they've been off target 2 opportunities, 2 gilt-edged opportunities off target. Willian had a curler at the back stick, well saved by the Pickford. And other than that, Everton offered really little in the second half. Like Fulham offered nothing much in the first half. However, I think a draw was the right result, so it finished Fulham 0, Everton 0. Last game of the Saturday fixture list: Liverpool versus Leeds United, 7:45 kickoff. I think Leeds United are really performed really well in that first half, although Liverpool looked like they were on the front foot. But I think Illan Millier performed miraculously well. For me, Leeds United best player, man of the match for me. He performed miraculously well. Leeds United took the lead, maybe against the run of play. Joe Gomez with a poor back pass. He didn't even look to see where his teammates were. He just played a blind pass. Van Dijk was wrong-footed, but Rodrigo was alerted and tapped it into an empty net, more or less. 1-0 lead. However, to Liverpool's credit, they responded as they have always done under Jurgen Klopp, and applied the pressure. And before you know it, the pressure paid off. Mo Salah with an equaliser from a good cross on the left-hand side. However, Leeds did defend well in the second half, restricted Liverpool to a limited amount of chances. With Firmino pulling, well, Liverpool had a number of opportunities on target. However, Firmino found a good save forced a good save from Meunier. I think a header went in from Firmino again, and another good save. I mean, Meunier, what's his name? Meunier was really busy, and I mean really busy in goal. He made some terrific saves after terrific saves. Shots, shot on target from Robertson, carried out by the keeper again, and then right a minute to go, Crescencio, the young Dutch winger, receives a touch from Bamford after good work from the Leeds winger, Notto, whatever his name is. He puts in a low cross pass. Bamford receives it, feeds it onto Crescencio, and Van Dijk wasn't tight enough for me. He should have got tighter. If he did get tighter, he blocks that, but he didn't. And Crescencio, with the outside of his foot, passed the outstretched hand of Alisson into the back stick. And before you know it, Leeds are 2-1 up, and Crescencio Summerfield sent the Leeds fans into pandemonium, and they held on to get a well-deserved win, even though there was early in the first half, Mr. Cooper Meunier made a right ricket by coming out of his goal so far out, knowing that his defender Cooper was dealing with it, and Cooper had got away with a ricket, and Meunier bailed him out, and it was only going to be Meunier that bailed him out. But other than that, it was a great night and a great win for Leeds United. So it finished Liverpool 1, Leeds United 2. Right, on to Sunday's game. Arsenal v Nottingham Forest. A bright start from Arsenal in the first 10, 20 minutes, especially the first 5 minutes. And Arsenal within 5 minutes were 1-0 up. Great work by Saka and great work from Benjamin White for the overlap, which opened the space up for Bukayo Saka to whip in an in-swinging cross. Gabriel Martinelli, brave as he is, gets his head to it first before the defender gets his foot in his face. 1-0 Arsenal. And before you know it, Arsenal just relaxed a little bit, and they did look flat and a bit lethargic and too casual for my liking, if I'm being honest. And Gabriel dos Santos Magalhães made one of the most stupidest passes of the season, passing it into the penalty area, like to say there was an Arsenal man there. But no, he gifted Lingard a gift. He's obviously gone for goal, but Benjamin White produced a magnificent block to deny him a shot on target. And other than that, Bukayo Saka went off injured, but hopefully the scans can prove that it's not long term. Other than that, let's look at the second half. In the first half, should I say, Reiss Nelson came on. He was quite nervous with the ball at his feet, so he's always played it backwards. It's as if he wasn't keen or confident enough to take on the winger or take on the left back. However, in the second half, he started really well and put on a man of the match display. I mean, he receives the ball from Jesus. He cuts inside, left-footed shot, well smothered and saved by Henderson, but the second bite of the cherry, top bins. And then before you know it, good work by Odegaard, good little trickery from his feet, quick feet, and finds Reiss Nelson in the inside 18, slots it in at the back stick, 3-0. Arsenal came forward after that, creating a number of opportunities. Reiss Nelson, not only has he got 2 goals, but he was sparkling with confidence and lays it off to Thomas Partey with that curling effort from 20 yards out. And, well, what a goal, top bins, I'll call it. And Martin Odegaard, for his efforts and for his performance, he contributed a lot to the offensive attacking side of things from Arsenal. Got his goal, and fully justified. And Arsenal were just on a attacking instincts from attack and attack again. Didn't really give Forest too much opportunity. Defended well when they had to, and it was important that they kept a clean sheet. And yes, they did. But Gabriel Jesus, tremendous work, tremendous performance in his work rate, intensity. All we needed was a goal. He did everything right, but not get a goal. Other than that, it was a 5-star performance from the Arsenal overall. So it finished Arsenal 5, Nottingham Forest 0. And last but not least, out of all the fixtures, Manchester United v West Ham. You have to say Manchester United were on the front foot throughout that first half, created the best of the opportunities in the first half. Marcus Rashford, bullet header, well saved by Fabianski. And then a cross comes in on the right, and Marcus Rashford has another bullet header, well placed into the back of the net at the far post. For me, that was a good header that you will see all season, I believe. If you've got anything you want to say about the header or any of the goals I've spoken about, leave it in the chat. West Ham came back into the game, and at the business end of the game, they pressed and pushed for an equaliser, but David De Gea had other ideas, pulling off 2 or 3 outstanding saves. And without De Gea on song, Man United might have dropped 2 points on another day, but it wasn't to be. So it finished Man United 1, West Ham United 0. And that comes to the conclusion of the Premier League roundup in my own version. So a pleasure again to say, ladies to the gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. And yet again, saving the best to last, as I always do. Thank you so much for putting up with me. I do apologise for being late, but again, better late than never. That's the main thing. Until next time, I'll be back again tomorrow, I think, with another stream. So do remember to look after your friends, do look after your families, and look after yourself, which is always important. Peace, love, and blessings again, as always, every day. And on top of that, yeah, do remember, as DLG repping, we're going to talk again. And please just remember to always be nice.